My official title is Director on Staff of Engineering Strategic Development in Raytheon Company. I graduated in the class of, the 2000 class of LEAP's Leadership Development Program. I had the privilege of going through a number of leadership development courses that were, now that I see it in retrospect, were geared to the typical white male. So nothing I had gone through prior to the LEAP LDP even addressed the whole cultural aspect. And what I found during LDP, the 5 days that I had attended, and then certainly afterwards, when I had time to think about it and reflect upon it, did I realize that this was the missing piece in a lot of the other leadership courses I'd taken, was that whole heritage piece, and how by knowing ourselves best within that context, how we can move forward by acquiring additional skills. This to me was actually pretty profound, because I was sort of operating under the stigma of being raised an Asian female, the oldest of 3 siblings, and an introvert trying to cope in a Western male-dominated workplace. And so I had a number of attributes that were, that could possibly undermine my progress up the corporate ladder, so to speak. But what I found in going through the LDP program was that I understood now how it all played together and what I had to do in order to thrive. So in a way, the LDP, the program itself, was like getting permission to be Asian. Not only just getting the permission, but also to use that as a means of providing a diverse perspective, which is, as our corporations are becoming wiser about diversity and about inclusion, now becomes kind of an advantage in being somewhat different from the mainstream or the incumbent population. There are very few APIs in the leadership pipeline, very few Asian faces in the executive leadership teams. So as we strive to retain, and that's really the task right now, is we can recruit and do that successfully, but retention is probably the harder of the two. So as we strive to retain a talent that we already have and that we spent a lot of time and effort to hire into Raytheon, we better have faces that say to our upcoming talent, to our upcoming API talent, that you too can earn a place on these leadership teams. The folks who go through a program like this, and what have you learned, and what suggestion or ideas or tips would you give to someone who might want to go into a program like the LDP or the PPS? And what I would say to them, because it certainly applied to me, is don't hold back. Go into those programs being 100% ready to engage and be engaging. And that's kind of an opposite statement coming from an introvert, to be engaging. But it turns out that when you are that way, that's part of learning the new skill sets that LEAP teaches. And don't hold back. Don't be reluctant to ask the seemingly stupid question. You've got to get rid of that notion, because the environment that is provided in both LDP and PPS it's a perfect opportunity to learn. And it's you always get afraid of saying, well, I hate to ask the stupid question. Well, the only stupid question is the one that's unasked.